Hello, my name is Ivanova. You're on the DP Labs channel and we've completely disassembled our ATV. Finally, one of the motors has arrived, just one for now because we burned out the second one during testing a while back and it still hasn't been rewound. This one has already arrived. We've assembled it with the gearbox, adjusted the gear pair, and everything is working well. So why did we take it apart? To weld it. Not completely, of course, because right now we're not going to twist and turn everything. Instead, we'll just weld as much as possible from the most convenient positions. So we'll weld about 60% of it now, which should be enough to allow for the first outing and the initial driving tests. This ATV is going to have truly insane acceleration. With just one motor, I think it won't be as noticeable yet, but still, 15 kilowatts of nominal power is already quite a lot, and there will be a front motor as well. Then it will be much more interesting. First we install the motor. Why is it positioned at this angle, you might ask? First of all, because the connector, the engine is angled for the cover connector. It's not possible to install a drain plug, so we have to shift it a little. And secondly, it's also to save space, because in the lower section, on the same plane, we have the battery and two motors. And since this is a utility version, it was planned to be a bit shorter. So to make it more compact, we had to position the motors at a slight angle. And this allowed us to make the wheelbase a bit shorter. The motor accordingly is mounted at 3 points, meaning that there is a suspension bracket specifically for the gearbox, and at the back we have a kind of mounting plate that attaches directly to the motor itself. Here accordingly there are already two brackets on the frame. Now we actually proceed to install the control arms. In this case we have the left one. This is the suspension bracket for the gearbox with a plate at the back attaching to the motor. Two brackets are on the frame. Now we install the left control arm and the drive shaft. Now in the comments they'll write again like, hit yourself on the head with a hammer. This is a copper hammer, copper. Andre, better to turn it. Andre, don't take it personally. Now in the comments they'll write again, hit yourself on the head with a hammer. This is a copper hammer, copper. Andre, better to turn it. Andre, don't take it personally, I'm just doing it for the video. Control arm number 2, all good. Now we carefully install the second control arm just like we did with the first one. So for the very first start, we carefully pour oil into the gearbox. We also have a level plug to check the oil. Next, we install the second control arm, just like we did with the first one. So for the first start, we pour oil into the gearbox and we have a level plug. Andre is working with a catheter, yes, with a syringe. There's not much oil here. We pour it in until it starts coming out of the level plug. We're using a special high-quality unrefined sunflower oil with a pleasant natural aroma. The oil is already flowing out. We had no oil, so there's just a little here. Pour until it comes out the level plug. We're using unrefined sunflower oil with aroma. Did you study at all? The oil is at the right level, so screw the plugs back in and hold the battery frame. Now we're connecting the controller. The wires we're using are, of course, power cables. Here there's an adapter from 50 square millimeters to 13. We'll have two controllers anyway, but 13 secure them a bit. Our motor has started spinning and we continue with the careful assembly process. We're now installing the front arms, putting on the wheels, and then we'll try to drive the first few meters. Motor spins, arms, wheels on, test drive. To prevent the bearing from coming apart with the hub, we simply insert the CV joint with the boot and carefully tighten the nut to secure it. On the outer CV joint, we'll just put on the boot so we can properly tighten the bearing. Now in principle, we can already put the wheels on. We'll leave the second wheel for now, as it is not necessary to install it at this stage. We connected the motor in sensorless mode because at the moment we don't have a controller available right now that we can install, which will actually work with the resolver. And basically for it to work in sensorless mode, it needs to start spinning first. Then by the back EMF, it will be able to determine the rotor position. Right now, it doesn't know the rotor position, and that's why it's doing this. The first few meters went well. The ATV is moving. It's actually quite surprising. I didn't plan for this. We just wanted to drive it around the workshop. The first few meters went well. The ATV moved, which surprised me. We only wanted to drive it 5 meters in the workshop, but since it wouldn't move by itself, we pushed it and even took it onto the street. Nothing's really finished. The suspension isn't adjusted, the engine runs without sensors, the seat isn't fully bolted down, and there are no brakes. Still, it already drives great, even just on the wheels. You can actually feel some cushioning just from the tires, and there's already a bit of a kick, even though there are no sensors yet. But you can feel some power. I think that in the final project, with 2 motors properly tuned and set up, you can feel the cushioning from the tires, and there's already some kick. Even without sensors, you can sense some power. In the final project, with 2 tuned motors and a resolver, it'll be awesome. For now, we're preparing for the first real tests. Not on concrete, but rough terrain, still in light mode. Without any water tests, also in a basic mode. Maybe we'll just set up the brakes, add a bit of cooling, and ride around the field. That's about it. I think that's all for now. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like. See you all.